All right, the recording has started, and this is the November 3rd, 2022 Crossplane community meeting. The agenda doc is open for anybody to continue adding topics and add themselves as an attendee as well if you want to. I will drop into the Zoom chat a link directly to the agenda document. So you can click that link and head on into the doc and add whatever you want to all the various sections here. All right, so let's jump into recent milestones. So in the last community meeting, we were talking about the 1.10 release that had gone out just before that community meeting, I believe. And since then, we identified a performance regression where the package manager was kind of in a endless reconciliation state, where it would constantly be trying to reconcile different revisions of providers and configurations packages. So it was using a lot of CPU, and folks in the community noticed that and reported that. And we believe, so yesterday we released 1.10.1, which would address that performance issue there. So sorry about that, that regression there, but thanks everyone for identifying the issue, reporting it, and driving a fix, getting it out. There isn't another patch release that I am aware of that is pressing for us. So 1.10.1 is the current release, and if there's anything else that comes up that we need to do a patch release for, we will most certainly do that. The next minor release, or the next important release for us that we're working towards on our normal typical cadence is January 17th for 1.11. So there's a lot of things going on in 1.11. So we'll hop into the Crossplane releases board real quick to go ahead and take a look at some of the things that are going on there. So let's see. So I think that the two big things that are actually three things, no, four, never mind, I keep counting here. Four things that are going on that are top of mind for me are custom compositions, or composition functions are getting a lot of progress with Nick and Hassan continuing to invest in those and finalize on what the experience is going to look like. So that still is the plan, and we were talking about that with multiple people at KubeCon, that in the 1.11 timeframe, we are expecting composition functions to be released in an alpha state. So folks will be able to start using it, start writing their own custom functions to control and add logic to how compositions are rendered. And, do note though that, since it's an alpha feature, it will be turned off by default. So you need to opt in to turn it on with passing a particular flag to the Crossplane binary when it's starting up. And there will be churn here. Definitely, we're going to be taking in feedback on how the functionality is working for people, how the experience works, and there will definitely be churn to kind of iterate on it and keep improving it. But that's a very important part of maturing features, and so we're already thanking everyone here in the community for providing feedback and helping drive that feature. I don't think Hassan or Nick is on the call here today, so that's why I kind of gave that whole little spiel there about composition functions and the progress there. Next one is composition revisions are getting matured and moving to V1 Beta 1, and Ezgi is driving that functionality, and Ezgi is right here on the call. So if you want to give us a quick update on what's going on with that, Ezgi, and what's still left, be happy to listen.
Thank you, Jared. So there is one open proposal issue linked to this epic, and we are discussing how we can utilize composition revision selectors in that issue. So if anyone is interested, I'm more than happy to get some feedback on it. We have two open PRs regarding this issue, and one will come tomorrow, hopefully. Yeah, that's one. Yeah, I think we can finish it in next week or maybe in 2 weeks, depending on the review cycle. And I plan to write a blog post about it as well. And some tutorial videos may come about this functionality. So if you're interested, just keep following.
Awesome. Yeah, this is great, Eski. And then this topic is definitely something that came up multiple times at KubeCon as well. People asking about how to roll out the various versions of compositions and do that in a controlled way, et cetera. So yeah, maturing this feature is definitely something that would be useful. I'm glad you're spending time on it here. All right. And then the third one that's on my mind as well is the work, Jesse, that you had been doing with package signature validation stuff. Do you want to give us a quick update on that one as well? Oh, wait. Oh, Jesse was here, but it doesn't look like Jesse is still here now. Well, quick update on that one then is so Jesse gave a talk on this at KubeCon in Detroit. So folks will be able to check that out and to kind of dive into some of the details there. So I think that Jesse has a lot of the things working locally and working in his feature branch, but it's not been merged into the main branch. So I think that this looks very reasonable for something that will also land in 1.11 as well. And then the last one that's top of mind for me is the environment config work. So being able to take data or configuration information from the runtime environment and then having that as a source for patching. The design had been approved in the 1.10 timeframe, and the implementation is mostly there, but I believe some of the experience and API design things are still being considered. So I'm hoping and expecting that to be in 1.11 as well. Those are the top 4 things on my mind for 1.11. Anything else that folks want to bring up for 1.11 timeframe and priorities, et cetera? All right. Well, definitely some exciting features in 1.11, and note again that with our typical cadence that with every quarter or so, this will put us at January 17th as the next release. So that will be after the holidays and early into next year. Oh, I just totally zoomed in, didn't mean to. All right, so let's talk about providers as well. I have added a couple of new providers here that had their initial releases. Christopher, I know you were driving a few of these, like the PagerDuty one, maybe the Tencent one you were involved in as well, sir. Do you want to give us a quick update on some of these providers?
Yeah, I can make it short. Provider PagerDuty was initially generated also from my company. We did this with TerraJet, and we moved the PagerDuty provider completely to UpJet. For Tencent Cloud, I was only involved from a community perspective to bring in all the repository movement and running the release. And I guess also we make a new update for provider ZPA. And we're also currently working on migrating provider ZPA to UpJet-based provider. And all of the providers are now also visible in Upbound Marketplace.
Nice, Christopher. Thank you very much for that. Yeah, there were a couple of providers as well here that I hadn't really gotten much exposure to myself, like the provider ZPA, and then the provider one VRA as well too. So those were definitely interesting to check out and see new areas of investment for by the community and to support for Crossplane. All right, so I believe that's everything for providers. I'm sure there are some other releases because there's a lot of activity amongst the community. So everyone is more than welcome to add links to any releases or updates from providers that you're maintaining or investing in, and just add it right on into the agenda doc. All right, so let's hop into the community topics section. As always, we have our first section here just on some various content around the ecosystem about the Crossplane project and related things. So the first one's a blog post that Muafik wrote, and I don't think Muaf's on the call here, so I'll just speak to it recently. Last community meeting, we talked about some of the official providers that Upbound as a vendor has released, and will be supporting them with SLAs and all that jazz. So some thinking behind that, and some of the details are available in that blog post if you're interested in checking that out. There's some other interesting things as well. One of our community members here shared with us the sort of a bootstrapping sort of setup automation that they're using to get Crossplane running in a few different environments. So that's linked here as well. And then there's an interesting meetup that's coming up. I think it's in Germany, and in German as well. So if you are not you're not there and you're not a German speaker, then this might not be as applicable to you. But the title was compelling, at least, of Terraform is Not Enough. So Christopher, are you involved with that one? I think I see Germany. I just think of you, my friend.
Yeah, I also booked this meetup that they talked with me, I guess, earlier this day. So let's see. Or for the discussion at the end.
Right on, right on. Cool. Maybe you can translate some stuff for us and let us know anything interesting that goes on there.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Pete, do you want to give us a quick update about the Crossplane.io website updates?
Yeah, we've been doing some work to provide some new makeup, a little bit of a facelift to the site for Crossplane.io. So we're not going to like totally revamp it and turn it into something unrecognizable, but I think it looks a little bit prettier, a little bit simpler, and we're extending that to the docs as well. I can show a little preview if you want to let me share, Jared.
Yeah, I do, Pete. Let me stop my share here. All right, hit it.
There we go. This will be the new Crossplane.io. Some pretty colors and nice flan animation stuff that's way above my knowledge. And then on the doc side, this is still very much a work in progress. Kind of applying that same facelift to the docs, making it a little bit simpler to read while providing a bunch of new functionality around copying code blocks, providing more styling to this code, providing a dark mode that's not there yet. So really, I think moving things forward. And we hope to get that on Monday, but that might slip. But hopefully it's by only a few days. So maybe Monday, maybe a few days later in the week. But that's on the horizon.
And Pete, what are the long poles there for getting that transition in the website refreshed and updated? You know, I think we're very in tune with that. Yeah, what are like the potential risks or things that'll push it back beyond Monday?
The biggest thing right now is fixing up the styling for the docs. So we could get it out on Monday with the old, or I should say the existing documentation styling. That'd be just fine. But to try to keep everything unified and looking the same, the docs are built on different tools than the Crossplane.io site is. And so it requires a little bit more manual work on my part to whip it into shape. So I think it's good. I just don't know what unknown unknowns I'm going to run into yet.
Okay, got it. So it's the Crossplane.io, like, you know, content and you know, like the front page of it, that's mostly up to date and ready to go, essentially, right? And then so the docs, like updating the docs, styling and etc. to, you know, match a refresh from the main site, that's where the work is more so.
Exactly. I think we're 90% of the way there. It's just, is the difficulty of the last 10% flat or, you know, logarithmic? I don't know yet. So cool. I'll find out over the next couple of days.
Sounds good. All right, I'll start sharing my screen again then to get the agenda doc back up and running. All right, so we'll be on the lookout for that next week. And yeah, Pete, do reach out to folks if you need any help with, you know, keeping things moving with updating the docs, etc. All right, so last week was KubeCon in Detroit. So I just wanted to do a quick retro on that one and hear from folks a little bit about their experiences, their observations, anything they were learning, etc. So feel free to share. The floor is open for folks to share about KubeCon a little bit. So who all was there? I think a lot of folks here might actually have been able to be in attendance. The folks that were there don't look to be here today. So yeah, so Sonia was there though. We definitely know that. And then yeah, so one thing for me though that I think was kind of exciting is that more and more this time we saw like before, like more than any other Crossplane, sorry, more than any other KubeCon, we saw Crossplane like being referenced and talked about in a number of places. So a lot of them, some of them we knew about, but some were completely unexpected as well. For instance, probably the biggest one was that they're doing one of the keynotes that Cruise was talking about their approach to infrastructure, et cetera. They started talking about Crossplane and how it works, and so a little bit of details about it. So that was really cool to see as part of one of the keynotes, presentations that was, to thousands of people. So that was really, really cool. And then a lot of the talks that were given on Crossplane, a lot of good attendance. And then we had tons of people coming to the booth of like, hey, okay, I keep hearing about this Crossplane thing. What is it? So there's obviously a lot of, organic discussion and, like people are hearing about it and they're interested and they're starting to come to us. So it's super, super cool to see that. It makes me really excited. I linked to a couple of different tweets of people talking about Crossplane that I thought were particularly funny or interesting. So feel free to click through to those and check those out as well. I wanted to call out that we have launched a survey for the Crossplane community where, this is essentially a opportunity to understand more from the broader ecosystem here outside of the folks that we normally or typically directly interact with, to hear about their adoption, what's working well for them, what might be still challenges for them, et cetera. And then this information, this data will definitely be an input to our proposal to graduate with the CNCF. So, hearing about adopters and, their stories is something that will be included in the graduation proposal and make it stronger and help us get to that level. So there is a little link here that you're more than welcome to click on and participate in that survey. I know some folks on the call here have already done so. And so thanks for that contribution and looking forward to, getting this out there and hearing more and learning more about how, the experience folks are having with Crossplane. So feel free to share this link broadly and with anybody. There's nothing, I want to hear from basically anybody that we can. So feel free to share this with anybody that's using Crossplane anywhere you want. Another survey that is not specifically Crossplane related, but is for the CNCF. So I just wanted to give a reminder to the maintainers on the Crossplane project that the CNCF wants to hear about, how our experience is as a CNCF project. So, what's working well for us, what we think is missing in terms of the services they provide. So feel free to, follow up and finish that survey. Chris Anachek from the CNCF was asking for broader participation. So all maintainers are more than welcome to go ahead and fill out that survey for the CNCF as well. If you had to take a pick though, choose this one first before this one. That's my selfish priority. Okay, and then I also wanted to, let's see who's on the call here. Okay, I'll take this one as well then. So I wanted to announce that there is a proposal for the deprecation of the TerraJet related code generation tooling and for it to be replaced essentially by Upjet. So this is the proposal written out by Muafek right here just today, and kind of walking through the implications of that, the reasoning, the justification, and kind of a fair amount of information to understand this type of decision. So, this is open and folks are weighing in on it, the maintainers of TerraJet, but, feedback from other folks in the community, any opinions that they want to share are more than welcome to do so, of course. So there's a direct link to that issue, the proposal issue where it's being discussed here in the agenda doc. Okay, then Pete, I wanted to hear from you again real quick, just for an update. You brought the proposal for, restructuring the docs, last community meeting, and there was some discussion about it. Just wanted to see if there were some outstanding issues there or big things that were still going on that you wanted to sync on.
Nothing for here. Nick had some comments outstanding. I'm actually meeting with him today to talk about some of the doc stuff, and we'll bring it back for next week.
Awesome, cool. So you got some FaceTime there. And that is decoupled, unrelated to the docs, the Crossplane.io site refresh, right?
Yeah, the site refresh is just styling. It has nothing to do with content. The 3396 there is a lot more about ordering what goes where, a little bit more of like the philosophy of the what and how for the documentation. So totally separate work streams there.
Got it. Awesome. Okay, sweet. So yeah, not no, this is the Crossplane.io site refresh is not blocked on this effort here.
Correct.
Got it.
Yep.
Okay, cool. All right, so then the remaining sections are typically open for everybody to add, things that they want to get into. So PRs that folks wanted to discuss, or anything interesting that folks, like had run into and solved, any of that sort of stuff is open. I don't see anything directly added to the agenda doc. So if folks wanted to, I do see Christopher typing though. So it sounds like something's coming.
It's more like something we discussed today in the community. So Carl, one of the providers, one of the maintainers from provider AWS, open sourced his ideas for something like CubeStat metrics for Crossplane resources. And this is the first draft he made. There's also a big discussion in the Crossplane to provide metrics based on resources. And this is his first idea. So I wanted to share this. We also started adopting this a little bit on our side. So it feels like a good way to get a little bit insights of all of the resources we're running in the clusters.
So Christopher, is this aimed mostly at resources that originate from providers, or is this like core Crossplane related stuff as well, or is it more as general?
Can you scroll up a little bit? You can open the metrics folder. And then there's a metrics.go file. And you can scroll a little bit. You can very easy add here the XP collector for groups and versions you want to monitor with the state metrics. So you can add at the end whatever you want there. And then if the metrics are there, you can grab it.
Oh, okay, got it. I got it. So you can essentially extend this code to define a set of collectors.
Yeah, it's more like a proof of concept at the moment, what Carl has here, but it's easy to extend. So we drive this today, I don't know, 3 or 4 hours, and it feels very good to get more insights and display this at our Grafana dashboards, for example.
Nice. Have you already started like from this proof of concept? Or you said you're taking this data and kind of putting some visualization to it with Grafana as well?
Yeah, we did this today because Carl published
cool.
Today, and we drived into a little bit with 2 guys.
Oh, cool, fun.
Yeah,
very cool, dude. Awesome. And then so you said also that there's discussion about this like within Slack as well.
Yeah, there was today discussion in Slack. I can also add Carl added the things to a Crossplane discussion. Can add the 2 links.
Yeah. If you want to add those links there as well, so folks can get access to them and participate in those conversations too. Yeah. Very cool. Yeah, I think I had heard some other folks talking about more observability insights in various forms. So that's definitely interesting to see that. Cool. All right. Anything else that folks want to bring up for general topics here on the agenda before we adjourn? All right. Well, if there aren't any other topics, then we can go ahead and adjourn for the week. And so it was great seeing folks in Detroit last week. Welcome to all the new folks that are joining the community now, and we're looking forward to collaborating with you and seeing contributions and discussing everything. So super nice to see everybody today, and we'll see you all in Slack, and then 2 weeks right back here again. Bye, everybody.
Bye.